This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust this will be like a vitamin or a supplement for your mind and heart today. And wherever you receive podcasts from, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, leave a rating and a brief written review. It will enable other excellent people just like you to be able to locate this podcast. And you can locate this podcast at iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn. It is literally everywhere. And thanks for joining us today. I want to talk to you a little bit about an important subject: your daily routines, rituals, and habits. I was speaking to a group of people a couple of weeks ago, and I really got the experience of reflecting on the past several years and rituals and routines and small habits and incremental changes that I have made in my life, not down through the years only, but I'm talking just recently. And I've become such a firm believer in bookending my day, my morning routines and my evening routines. Now, I have talked about this before on the podcast, but today I want to talk about, as you are looking at your future, you are no doubt working your way through whether it is your own personal values and goals and things that you want to accomplish, or in the industry you're involved with, or wherever you work, or your entrepreneurial area, your family. We can have goals for all of those items. And I'm kind of imagining that between where you are today and where you would like to be in the future, oftentimes there is such an enormous gap. And we think, how in the world will I get from where I am today to where I need to be in the future? And so we begin to think, I'm going to have to take massive, incredible actions. I'm going to have to make gigantic change in my life. I'm going to have to completely turn my world upside down. Everything is going to become topsy-turvy. I am going to have to make significant change. I'm a member of my local YMCA, and I noticed that the first Monday of the new year, that I could hardly get on a piece of equipment or a machine. There were people there, and I've been there 3.5 years at this particular location, that I had never seen before. And here they were, and they were there, and you could tell they were gung-ho. They had bought new equipment, they'd bought new shoes, they were ready to go. And I used to say, well, this is the way it is every year. Just wait until after Valentine's Day when they eat their first 10-pound box of candy of the year. They'll fall off the wagon and they'll be gone. But even before then, when I was there yesterday, I noticed that many of them are not there anymore. You see, it's this idea that to bring real significant change to my life will cause me, or will necessitate me, to make huge disruptive changes in my life. When in reality, it's better to take a few steps or many steps in the right direction, small steps, than it is to make a big leap only to stumble backward. And when if you've never been to the gym and now you're saying, I'm going to exercise 8 hours a day, it's unrealistic and unsustainable. You know the story, the little fable that most of us learned in childhood of the tortoise and the hare. They're lined up at the starting line. Well, you almost know the tortoise is at a total disadvantage. The hare, the rabbit, just seems by nature to be exceedingly fast and quick. And how can the tortoise even compete? And when the gun sounds and the runners are off, the rabbit takes off and you can't even see him, just the vapor trail behind him. And there's the tortoise incrementally, slowly creeping one little step after the other, and it doesn't seem fair and it doesn't seem right, but the rabbit is going to win the race, except the rabbit got overconfident. And since the rabbit knew that it was so much quicker, so much faster than the tortoise, that it decided to play around and go slowly and do this and do that. And the tortoise never gave up, just one small step, run right after the other. And you know the tortoise won, because it is slow and steady that wins the race. A lot of rocket fuel is wasted sending things way up in the air, making a big splash. If it goes slow and steady, it's just little things that make a difference. You have to start small. You have to think your way through. What action or activity, if I begin to engage in regularly, will make the largest difference in my life over time? I remember when I went to Kalamazoo, Michigan in 1991, the place where I was then had set aside a very small, a part of my salary into a retirement account. Well, I was young and I thought retirement was for old people, and I'm so far removed from that. I could really use that money in my pocket now to spend it. I talked to the treasurer and he said, no, this is the way the governing board wants it. And I complained. I even mentioned it at a couple of board meetings, but the governing board would not budge. We are going to put $100 a month away into your retirement account. It was just a little bit. I didn't notice it was gone, $25 a week. But over the time, that little thing really has multiplied. And here's what happens. 20 years ago would have been the best time for you to start whatever it is you feel you need to be doing today. But the second best time to start is today. That really comes from a phrase, the best time to plant an oak tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Whatever it is you need to do, be it a spiritual goal, an intellectual, a business, a family, a personal, a health, on and on. Yes, you should have perhaps done it a while ago, but we can't go back. There's no time machine to take us back and to correct those kinds of things. All we can work on is today. So today is the best time. Now, in the field of endeavor I'm in, none of my 2 days are exactly alike, and some of my days are predicated on what's happening in other people's lives and other circumstances. And so the temptation would be to say, since my life isn't just really routine, it would be hard for me to have an ideal day or an ideal week or an ideal month. I think one of the first things you need to do is to get a template and just figure out what does your ideal day, then week, then month. Of course, it will also lead up to a year, but let's just start with week, day, and week. Now, some of you are working for places where your work day is pretty well lined out and figured out for you, and that's fine. And you can put that on there. But the fact of the matter remains, you still have some discretionary time of yourselves to invest in your family, yourself, and others. So, how are you going to spend that time? And I like to think of my morning and evening routines as really the bookends for my day. And I'm going to begin talking about it maybe in a counter way that you would think. Let's start with the evening routine first. One of the things that happens is if we don't develop a habit and a routine, we will just take things as they come. And when you come home exhausted, it's easy to surf the web, mindlessly watch something on television. Now, I'm not against entertainment, and I'm not against watching television, and I'm not against looking up things that you need to look at. But if many people in a daze have have kind of come to 2 to 3 to 4 hours later and realized they've really been doing nothing. One of the things that I begin to do on the evenings that I have control of my schedule, there are a considerable amount of time in which I am in meetings in the evening, so I have to adjust my bookend maybe a little later. But because I am going to get up early tomorrow, I have to go to bed a little earlier than some people do. Now, I know many of you are night people and you're going to fuss and complain, but all I'm saying is, if you're going to get something done, the 2 times when that is most operable is at the end of the day and early in the day before everybody gets up and gets at it and starts calling and sending the emails. So my evening routine, the first thing is about an hour and a half before I am going to bed, I turn off the screens, be it television, be it computer, and I start winding down. Now, you can build your evening routine in whatever manner will assist you. I have quiet, contemplation, prayer, Bible reading. I also evaluate what happened to me that day. What were the wins? What were the losses? I also, once again, read my goals, see where I believe I should be heading. I then look at my calendar for the next day or two. I try to see what appointments do I have, what meetings do I have, what projects do I really need to invest in tomorrow. I begin to write in my own way, either electronically or by longhand, what are the tasks, what are the activities, what are the actions that I need to do tomorrow. When I get those all spelled out, I then look and say, what are the 3 that are really significant? What are the 3 that if I do them really moves things forward? And what on this list is something significant to do, but I've been avoiding it? That would be the frog that needs to be eaten first. And then I call those top 3 my most important tasks, MIT, most important task. It doesn't mean that I'm only going to be able to get to 3 things tomorrow, but what it means is if the world comes to an end, or crises happen, or unforeseen events happen, I will feel better if I get these 3 done. As a matter of fact, I'm so serious about it, I make a promise to myself that I'll not go to bed until those 3 are done. I allow myself then to know what I'm going to do, and for those 3 tasks, I make sure that everything I'm going to need tomorrow is available at my fingertips. I put mine in my briefcase or my backpack. If there are documents I need, emails I need, because one of the problems is when you start on your tasks, if you don't have the equipment and the items that you need, you're going to waste valuable time searching and hunting for things. So I get them right together. I go to bed, then I get up in the morning. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to just make up your mind you're going to get up earlier than most people. And in the morning, I again read scripture. I also read for 20 to 30 minutes because I have a goal, a reading goal. I journal in the morning in which I write down my goals, talk about things that I need to do. I spend some time in prayer. I am also going to build in my exercise in the morning. I will end up going to the gym. But what I also do is begin immediately that morning to work on my number 1 most important task. There are often times before I ever really get my work day going, I have gotten quite a bit done. It gives you a great sense of accomplishment, but it also plays into the law of momentum. Once you get momentum going, it is literally amazing what all you can get done. And so my morning routines has health, it has intellectual, it has spiritual, it has work-related. And then when I get back from the gym, my wife and I have breakfast together on the mornings when I don't have meetings, and I read to her out of some books that we are reading so that we can develop and continue our relationship, which this year will be 41 years of marriage. You have to be intentional. You have to decide, I'm going to do it incremental. If you want to write a book, don't sit down and say, I'm going to write a book by tomorrow afternoon. Just write 2 paragraphs a day. And as you exercise that muscle and it becomes stronger, you can go to 2 pages a day. You can go till 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If you need to exercise, make sure you have the equipment. I would pack my bag the day before or lay the clothes out that you're going to wear and do that. If it's finances, then the first thing you need to do is open a retirement account. Get ready. Automate it for $25 a week or a month. If you've never prayed before, say this week I'm going to pray for 5 minutes every morning. If you want to read, set a goal to say I'm going to read 2 pages a day, and it can become 20 to 30 minutes. The quality of your choices will dictate the quality of your life. What you pay attention to, what matters to you, will really make a big difference when you multiply a positive action with the lever of time and influence will make a large difference. Yes, one of the first changes many of us need to make is to get up a half hour to an hour earlier than we do. Don't check your email. Don't turn on ESPN Sports Center. Focus on getting yourself started. Let me give you one little thing you could do today that could help change your life, and it's really small and seemingly insignificant. Why don't you make up your mind that all day today you're going to smile more than you've ever smiled? Now, I know at first it'll seem fake and phony, but it is amazing. You'll start feeling better. People will start feeling better about you. Whatever the goal is you're working on right now, if you have no experience doing this, I would try just one at a time until it becomes a habit. I know you know how to build habits because I'm imagining everyone listening automatically brushes their teeth every morning. You were not born knowing how to brush your teeth. You learned how to do it. Make some changes. Small, incremental, positive changes will have a big impact on your life and the life of all the people you love. You've been listening to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom. Words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. And I do trust today this was like a vitamin or a supplement for your mind and heart. Please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom and leave a rating and a brief written review. Remember, my leadership friend, you are doing better than you think you are. You really are. And until next time, this is Dr. Ron saying have a great and blessed day.